God. And now we have Misty.
Good evening, everybody. Let's see. Okay, here we go. We got the voice going. All right. My name is Misty Brovald. Some of you guys have heard my stories before. I'm going to kind of do a bookend, a beginning and a current. All the stories in between, you'll have to guess or find out another time, and we'll meet up and chat, and I'll share other stories that I have. Because I was told I only got 20 minutes, and then they're going to hook me off. So, the story that I have is songs that have resonated with me. This one, Here I Am, Lord, was one of the major ones. And I remember when I was like in 3rd grade, I was sleeping. My parents had just moved their bedroom from upstairs to downstairs, and I was sleeping in my room upstairs. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I heard my dad's voice calling me. And I sat up. And then I didn't hear anything again. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to lay down and I'm going to go back to sleep. And then all of a sudden, I heard my dad's voice again. And I'm like, seriously, Dad? What's going on? And nope, still didn't hear anything. The 3rd time I did get up, I went down to the stairs, and I'm like standing in the middle of the stairs, and I'm like, I really don't see any lights on. I don't hear anything. And it's like, okay, this is just a joke. And then I went to church, and I went to Sunday school class, and I got to hear about Samuel. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't me. And I ignored it. But then, as you grow up, you do all the things. You cause sin because that's who we are. And, I am not famous for this, but I did steal a box of cough drops when I was in 1st grade. And that tormented me until 6th grade. In Sunday school class, I broke down crying, and I'm like, I sinned. I stole a box of cough drops. And I was so afraid that I was going to be punished for that, because that was one of the commandments. You don't steal, you don't covet. But life goes on. I graduate high school, move on, many, many more stories. Just trying to live life the best way, right? And then we make adult mistakes, and we make poor choices. And then I get a little nudge. I get a little calling. Oh, here's another voice talking to me. And it's interesting of how I felt that when I heard the voice calling me, it was my dad's voice. And it's interesting to me to think that something I know and I cherish and I love, that's also God calling me too, in the same feelings. He had to speak to me with that tone and that voice so I would be at peace. But I got little nudges again, and I'm like, no, that can't be me. Because, God, I sinned. I'm not this perfect person. You see all these people that God has called in the past in the Bible, and they're all perfect, Look at how amazing they are. Look at what lives they led, how they were prepped and prepared for God's calling. So that couldn't be me, right? But no, then I had a wise pastor told me and repeat to me. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. I wouldn't say normally if I go up and meet you and I talk to you, this is not the first story I tell you about my faith. But I have had those moments of where I feel called. And I look back after things that I've done and I'm like, wow, how did this land in my lap? One thing that I did that I was called more recently, so we had the beginning where I heard my dad's voice. Now we're coming to this part. The other side of the bookend, the more current one, is I met a lady. Her name is Angie. She was a single mom in Minnesota with a very rough life. She had no support. She had more people challenging her and taking things from her and never giving her the opportunity to succeed. And they always kept telling her, "Oh, you're not smart enough. You're too dumb. You just do what I tell you to do." And she's trying to raise her son. Her son of 8 years at the time was attending school all by himself. In that, the teachers, the principals deemed that he had behavior problems and he just needed to be coached and taught one-on-one. So they pulled him off to the side into one little room. He did not get to be with the other kids. And Angie, something within her, kept telling her, "You need to go. You need to go and find a better place." We met, and she's like, I need to escape. I need to get away. I need to move. God's like, "You have a spare room?" And I'm like, oh boy. What is that to open your door to let a person that you've maybe known for 2 months, most of it has been just through phone calls or text messages, and you're going to open your door and upset your family life, take a risk? And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Angie and Kyle, over Christmas break, December 23rd, had their whole house all packed up. We hauled all the boxes and the furniture all the way down into the trailer, hauled that little trailer across the state of Minnesota, and we set her up with a storage shed, emptied it out. She moved into my house. And now she has moved out on her own. She's found her own place. Kyle is successful. He is in the school districts, in the classroom, and thriving. His grades have never been better. And she knows she made the better decision. She knows it was God who talked to her. It was God who talked to me and made it right. It was God who calmed our hearts, made difficult situations better. My son, Sean, he probably really wouldn't like me talking about him, but I saw in him the man who he's going to become, the parent who he's going to become. The patience he had to sit down and help Kyle through some of the emotional outbursts. His ability to open his heart, even though at first when he was told, he felt that I neglected his needs, and he was upset that I did not consult him first. But afterwards, it was an experience that has given us new opportunity and journeys. One thing that I keep telling Sean all the time is that God gives us these experiences to mold us, to shape us, so that we have the strength to endure anything else he asks us to do. We have the knowledge and we have the encouragement. Hey, I've been down this path. I can help somebody else. Maybe they're just starting their journey down the path and it's like, oh yeah, I've been down here 5 times. Let's go. I know how to walk this path. Careful, there's a trip there. Oh, all right, let's pick you up. Let's go. Again, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Thank you.